and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Sammy of Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. This one we are going to review the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2024 nominees, which we usually do. We've been doing since we started this podcast, and we'll go through each one, and then we are going to say who we would like to see in, and then it's also who do we think is going to go in, because that's totally different.
And of course, some of the usual suspects that didn't make the list again. We'll go over a few of those,
and then in a few months when they actually announce, then we'll compare, which we've done before.
See who's got the most points, who wins.
Right? Yeah.
Cool. So I want to give a little briefing of each individual or artist or band that's up for the nominees, and then we're going to go take a round where we're going to give our little thoughts and opinions. So, interesting list this year. Not a lot of rock and roll happening this year. But there's a couple.
I think there's more rock bands in it this year than usual, though.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's I think there's more variety this year.
There is.
I think there's more variety, I will say.
Except that you have, we're going to go into it, but you have 3 women bang off the bat. So it's going to be interesting. All right, so let's start this off. First one on the list is Mary J. Blige, who's also an actress. Her first album, 1992. Her last album she put out was 1992. She was out since.
Talking about that real love.
Yeah, that's on there. Yeah. So her first album came out in 92. The last album she did came out in 2022. She has 15 albums total, which I did not know. A couple big songs. Not Going to Cry, Family Affair, and Dame's favorite, Real Love.
It's a family affair.
Dame knows the tune.
It's a family affair.
Okay, so Mary J. Blige, Dame, what you thinking on this?
Nah, I don't. I mean, and look, I've said it before. I want to say it again. Look, it is what it is. I'm not even gonna fight it anymore. All right, so this stuff, these, if you don't think it's rock or whatever, too bad. This is what they're putting in. So I hate to say I'm playing the game, but it's done wonders for my stress level. So I think there's other R&B artists that should go in before her. I don't think she deserves to go in.
I didn't think she was that big of a splash. I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing. Mike D, Mary J. Blige.
I'm not familiar with her whole body of work. I know she's big behind the scenes on a lot of stuff. And I mean, do I think she should? Probably not, but probably will.
I mean, she's influential. She's been out since 92, which I didn't realize she's been around that long. She did do like a handful of movies also. I mean, she's been around for a lot longer than I really thought. I don't know. I mean, crossover stuff, even though that's not my genre of music, crossover, if it's a big song, you kind of know it. I really don't know her stuff, so I don't know. Influential, maybe, yeah. Does she deserve to be in before Diana Ross as a solo? No. I mean, Diana Ross is not even in as a solo artist.
Are you serious?
I'm almost positive, yeah. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
All right, so second on the list, Mariah Carey, another woman R&B.
Yeah, pop artist, R&B. She's certainly worthy of being in there.
She's got the numbers.
Yeah, I guess at the end of this, we'll say who then we'll say who we think who our picks are, right?
Yeah,
we're going. Okay, yeah. Mariah Carey. I would certainly think. I mean, looking at the list, if anybody has a shot, it will be her, and absolutely over Mary J. Blige, I think.
Yeah. I mean, she's also another one, also an actress. She's got 19 #1 singles, man. That's crazy. Her first album came out in 1990. The last record she came out was in 2018. She's got 15 total records. Big songs: Vision of Love, Always Be My Baby, All I Want for Christmas Is You. That Christmas, the things they thaw her out around November, December to get ready for that Christmas album. Mike D, Mariah Carey, what you got?
Hey, not my thing, man. And I got to tell you, like, I hear her stuff and I'm allergic to it. Like, that voice goes in one ear and pops out the other. I can't take it.
Yeah.
It's so, I'm not saying she's bad. I mean, she's got a lot of hits, got a lot of albums sold. Not my thing.
Yeah. I mean, not my thing either, but I mean, 19 number one singles is no slouch. I mean, it's huge.
No, definitely.
She still is really big, but she was fucking huge at one point.
When in the early 90s, she was really, really big. I mean, she's the one who really, I wouldn't say brought back, but that the use of them vocal runs, you started seeing more and more people shooting for that vocal run with the higher kind of, that weird screamy.
Yeah.
Thingy.
She kind of, her and Whitney Houston were pretty big with that style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, she's got a good shot, I think, but her body of work's pretty big. At least you don't realize how long some of these artists have been around, Speaking of that, moving on to artists that's been around for like many decades right now. Cher. They said, I don't know, 7 decades she's been around for?
Since the 60s, man.
Yeah. Well, the first album she came out with was in 1965. Last album was in 2023. She came out with a Christmas album, and so did Mary J. Blige. So all three of these women had Christmas albums. So she has...
That should be a detractor, Christmas albums.
Well, it just happens, I guess, in pop.
That should be a detractor.
Yeah. 27 albums total she has. She's also an actress, a pretty good actress, I think, too. Big songs. I Got You, Babe. If I Could Turn Back Time, Gypsy and Thieves, which I like that song a lot. I think that's a great song. And Believe, which was a huge song for her.
Oh.
The beginning of the overuse of auto-tune.
Yeah.
Yes.
Auto-tune being used as an effect more than
she probably doesn't need it,
but what's your thoughts on Cher, Demo?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that she's not in, or even with Sonny and Cher. I'm surprised that that they're not in, but I don't know. I don't think she is going to get in, and I think Mary J. Blige has a better shot than Cher. I think people see her more as a celebrity actress type thing than a singer.
Yeah.
And that might be against her. I mean, she's a fucking enormous celebrity.
Yeah.
But I don't really see her too much as a singer, solo artist, musician type,
She seemed like more like an actor that sings now than a singer that acts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Mike D, Cher.
Yeah, very on the fence. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm like Dame said, I'm surprised she's not in there already. And I don't know, maybe she should be in there already. I don't know, but she's been around long enough, and I mean, she sells out everywhere she goes. I mean, you can't deny that. Yeah. So if you're going to say like put Mary J. Blige or Mariah Carey in, you almost have to put Sharon first. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Cher is that she's an icon, right? I mean, she's a pop icon, if you want to call it that. And
she's so iconic, she only goes by one name. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Guess what? Most of the big names do. Madonna, Cher. It's like Beyonce. Beyonce. I mean, all them girls that go by one name are really big names, I was a little disappointed Cyndi Lauper didn't make the list again, so we'll get into that. With Cher, should she be in? I mean, right now, come on, it's the Music Hall of Fame or the Pop Hall of Fame, pop, whatever you want to call it, Popular Music Hall of Fame or whatever.
The Pop Rocks.
But it's definitely like Dame said, you can't fight it at this point. It's the Music Hall of Fame.
It is what it is. Yeah.
So it is what it is. The Cher, if some other names that were in there already made it, should Cher be in? Absolutely. She's one of the biggest celebrities ever. And she's been around for a long time. And she's been relevant even when she's not around. She's still relevant, whether it be through music or movies and stuff like that. But I think she's a pretty damn good actress. She was good in Mask. She was good in a bunch of stuff. Really good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Moonstruck,
yeah. Okay, moving on to number 4 in here. The Dave Matthews Band. First album came out in 94. Last album came out in 2023. Yeah, they've been around since 94. 10 albums total. Big songs. What Would You Say? Gravedigger and Crush. Your thoughts on the Dave Matthews Band demo?
He's trying to swallow his vomit.
Probably number one on my most disliked band ever.
Really?
Ever. I fucking hate Dave Matthews Band. Fucking hate them. No, they should not be in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's all I got to say about that.
Mike Day, what you got?
Oh, not my type of thing. Reminds me of a lot of barefoot music followers, and no, I don't know. He has maybe one song I actually kind of like, and it's not one. It's probably not even one of his hits. And besides that, I just can't fucking stand listening to him.
Yeah. Not my genre. He's got an interesting voice. The band he has is great. I mean, that band's great. Not my type of thing, but I respect it.
Can't polish a turd, Bert. You can't polish a turd.
But you also can't fight that he draws a large crowd. A large crowd.
Listen, people listen to a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's subjective, right? So
the Spice Girls drew a large
crowd.
crowd.
I like that movie.
Right.
I like the Spice Girls. I watched them.
I mean, they had a certain charm. Look, if everybody could do what the Spice Girls did, everybody would be doing it.
Sure.
So, but I mean, there are a lot of shit that, especially now more than ever, there's a lot of crap out there.
But I mean, he's been around since '94, man, and that's a pretty long time. Like I said, I'm surprised how long some of these guys have been around for. 10 albums total. You know, some live albums I'm sure is in there. Also, yeah, I mean, I have a feeling he's a favorite to go in. I do. All right, moving on to number 5. Eric B. and Rakim. Damo, what you got?
I got to be honest. This is going to be my ignorance. I don't really know. I couldn't tell you a song about them, but I do know that they're highly regarded in the hip hop world, and I always hear them cited as an influence. So, I'll just leave it at that. I mean, you know, they probably this is, I don't know, man. This is a tough year, honestly. Looking at this list, it is tough. It really is a tough call, man. But how many can you pick? Is it
6? I
now?
think.
No, it's
6.
1, 2,
I thought it was 10.
4, 5, 6, 7 will go in. So
okay, 7 will go in.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a tough year. But they probably should go in from, you know, all the hip hop.
There's got to be somebody representing that genre, so I would think that they would go in.
Yeah.
Mike D.
Yeah, man, I'm like with Damo and them. I mean, I think I know. I see that album cover with the two of them just standing there on there, and I think that's their big album.
Paid in
I forget
Full.
what it's called.
What's that? I think Paid in Full.
Yeah. So I mean, I know a lot of guys I went to high school used to like them, but I kind of missed them. Like I kind of got out of rap when they were starting to, you know, get big. So I couldn't even tell you one track they did, but I mean, I know they're pretty damn big.
Yeah. Well, their first album was out in '87. Their last album.
Oh wow.
Yeah, their last album was '92. So they only have 4 records. Big songs, I Ain't No Joke, Paid in Full, Don't Sweat the Technique. Major influence, I think, on a lot of hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
So I would think they're definitely going in.
I would actually be interested in checking them out. I would definitely.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's definitely good stuff. They were a huge influence, man. So I could see them going in.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, number 6, Foreigner. What you got, Damo?
I mean, dude, they have so many fucking hits. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in the same, you know, people put them in the same genre as like Journey and Styx and stuff. They're right up there with Journey, man. Foreigner. You know, they tour now every year. They still headline like 15, 20,000 seaters. I mean, and they have
how many original members?
None,
Maybe.
nobody.
Or nobody left. Huh?
Wow.
No, I mean, Mick Jones is like still in the band, but he doesn't tour because he's in bad health.
Yeah, Jeff Pilson from Dokken plays with them. I know that.
Yeah,
and Jason Bonham was. I don't know if he's still there, but he wasn't he in Foreigner for a while?
Yeah, he left maybe like 10 years ago. But
okay.
I mean, that's gotta say something when a band can play those venues with no original members in the band. and they still draw like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. That's so many
crazy.
hits.
Who's
Yeah.
singing? Kelly? Is Kelly Hansen from Hurricane singing? Is that
Yeah,
who's singing for them?
yeah.
Okay.
But
I
mean,
never
they have
watched them.
so many hits, man. They're from a '70s rock band to almost like a soft rock in the '80s. I mean, you just know all their songs. I mean, they it's you still hear them all. So
Yeah.
that's great music doesn't die, man. It's always there.
Yep. Mike D.
Yeah, I'm with Dame on this one, man. They actually, I believe they should have been in there already. I'm actually surprised that they're not.
Yeah.
So,
Foreigner, first album came out in 77. Last album was 2009. And they're still touring, though, and still packing them in. They have 9 albums total. Big songs. There's a shitload of them. I'm going to read up just a couple here. I Want to Know What Love Is was huge. I mean, that was huge, that song. Waiting for a Girl Like You, another huge one. Jukebox Hero, Hot Blooded, Urgent. I mean, the list goes on and on. They're
Cold as Ice.
Cold as Ice.
Cold
I
as
mean,
Ice.
they're
I
a
saw them
definite.
live. Yeah, me and Donna saw them 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. It was them and Whitesnake and Jason Bonham did his Led Zeppelin thing. Great show, man.
Wow.
And you just know all the. I think I own maybe 1 or 2 Foreigner records, but you know every
I have a
single
couple.
song they play. You know
I
every
mean,
song.
how was the vocals?
Great. They're
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. Band sounded phenomenal.
Was he there? How long's he been there for? With the Kelly Hansen, right?
All the guys have been there for at least 15 years.
Wow.
At least 15, if not 20.
Wow. That's crazy. But I think they were definite. I really do. I mean, they should be in.
Yeah.
Peter Frampton, first album, 1972. Last album, 2021. 20 albums he's got. I didn't know the guy had that many albums. Big songs, Baby I Love Your Way and Show Me the Way. He likes the way. Damo, what you got on Peter Frampton?
Yeah, I mean he's another guy. I mean that Frampton Comes Alive. That's
That's
probably
an
number
essential
1.
record. If you're not a fan,
Greatest-
that's still a record that should be
Yeah,
in
it's
your
one of
collection.
the greatest live albums, if not the greatest of all time. I mean, and and even before that, he was in Humble Pie, hugely influential band. They're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Peter
How are
Frampton,
they not in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. But Peter Frampton is everybody knows Peter Frampton. I mean, he's a great guitar player, singer, songwriter. He should definitely be in there.
Yeah, and he's been around. I mean, his body of work's long. He's been around since 72.
60s. Well,
Or
solo,
60s
as
when
a
it
solo
got
artist.
solo artist in 72. I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't in the original Humble Pie, was he?
Yeah, it was his band. He was a kid.
Really? I didn't.
I never knew he
that.
came from there.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was. Wow. See, I don't know
Yeah.
too much about Humble Pie, but I know
Yeah.
they're a major influence on Kiss. I knew that.
A lot of bands, yeah.
So I got to take more of a listen to them. Mike D, what do you got on Peter Frampton?
I'm very on the fence with Frampton. I don't know. I don't know his body of work. I really only know the one album. I'm not a fan of it, but we used to go to Philly Rock a lot back in the day. And for some reason, that album was always being played through that jukebox. So it kind of reminds me of the good times, like we used to go there and hang out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, man, I don't know. I can't listen to Frampton. Just not my thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple live albums that are essential to a collection, whether it's your genre or not. And I would say off the top of my head, it's the Frampton Comes Alive.
Absolutely. Definitely. I know it's a big album, but
yeah,
I don't know anything else.
Kiss Alive's another one. That's a definite. Same thing. I like Cheap Trick. I'm not the biggest fan, but the Cheap Trick at Budokan, that's another one you have to have in your collection. There's a couple.
The Cheap Trip.
Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trip.
And it shows you too. It shows you here how
Cheap Trip.
Like Cheap Trick, the same thing here, where the live version is better than the studio version. Same thing with Kiss Rock and Roll Night. The live version is better than the studio version. So that's an essential album, and I would have thought he would have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already. And now with the Humble Pie background, it's even crazy that Humble Pie's not in. I'm surprised. Yeah. I mean, they were an influence on a lot of bands.
Were they a British band? Is he British? I don't even know.
Yeah,
he looks it.
And he's getting up there. He's in the 70s.
Yeah. So he's got a good shot. Coming in number 8, Jane's Addiction. First album, 1988. Last album, 2011. They only have 4 records. Big songs. Jane Says, Been Caught Stealing, and The Mountain Song. What do you got, David?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that they're not in there because they were adored by the critics and big, influential band. They started in the 80s, but they were like ahead of the curve. You could, they were had to me they always sounded like a 90s band, and probably because of all the bands that they influenced their sound, yeah, they should definitely be in, I think.
Yep. Mike D.
Absolutely. I mean, just off those first two albums, I mean, wow. I still listen to them today and they still sound fresh to me. And I don't know, I look at them as kind of like maybe even alternative before Nirvana made it big.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think they kind of laid the groundwork. Nirvana kind of just took it over.
Yeah. Now I like Jane's Addiction, but I don't know if I think they deserve to be in before a lot of these other bands. I mean, they only have 4 records out. Their biggest pull they have is probably the Lollapalooza thing. I think that might weigh in somewhere for being so influential and starting that. And
I wasn't a fan of their second half of their career. I'll put it that way.
I mean, the first 2 albums are really, really good.
Oh man, they're great.
I don't know. I just think there's bigger stuff out there. So I don't think Jane's Addiction goes in. Okay, moving on. The Kool and the Gang. How are they not in? First album, 1969. Last album, 2023. 26 albums total. Big songs. We could have a list for a half an hour here, but I'll just name a few. Get Down on It, Celebration, Cherish, Misled, Jungle Boogie, Fresh, Ladies Night. I mean, we could go on and on. This band should have been in 20 years ago. Damo, your thoughts?
They're one of my favorites, man. I love Kool and the Gang. As a matter of fact, I was listening to them last Friday, man, driving home from work. You listen to their early stuff, man. They were so different. Like they were a total funk band, man. It was so fucking funky and shit. And then just, then they got into almost kind of like disco funk. And then the 80s, they were like a soft rock band, It sounded like they were up there with Foreigner.
Yeah. They were able to flow with the times and still have great songs.
Yeah. But yeah, man, they should definitely be in. Earth, Wind and Fire's in now. Kool and the Gang should absolutely because they were always like 1A, 1B.
Yeah, they were hand in hand.
Yeah, it's like Molly. It's like Bon Jovi and Def Leppard or something. Yeah. Like they're right in there together. So I would really like to see them in there.
Yep, Mike D.
I'm with Dame. I think it's a crime that they're not in. Let's put it that way.
It's
they
crazy.
Should definitely be in there. Come on.
I thought they would have been in a long time ago. Just great songs. I mean, dude, you hear Celebration at every party, every event. You hear Celebration. Get Down on It. You hear a lot. I mean, all these Jungle Boogie. I mean, all these songs are.
That might be my favorite song by it.
I love it.
Come on, how could you hear it? Like want to shake a little bit, Come on.
And they rode the wave, man. They were able to change with each decade and still stay pretty relevant. I mean, I haven't heard the last 10 years. I haven't really paid attention, but from the late 60s to the mid 80s, man, they were still strongly relevant. Kool and Gang, great band. If it's a Music Hall of Fame, they should definitely be in it. Absolutely. Moving on to number 10 on the list here, Lenny Kravitz. What you got, Damo?
I like Lenny Kravitz. I'm a fan. I don't know if he's got like a Hall of Fame worthy career though. I mean, definitely has like the hits, but I don't think he's like that influential. And he's a celebrity.
I think he was more influenced than influential. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So I'm kind of indifferent with him. I'm not totally sure.
Yep. Mike D.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he should go in, but at the same time, I'm very on the fence. But he was big, man. He was huge. He was really big for a little while. I mean, he was a rock star. I mean, he was he might be one of the last rock stars, that came out from like what was 88? You said,
yeah.
His first record was in 89.
89, yeah. I mean, he was big. His music's big, but like Dame said, I don't see him being like an influential artist. So, but he should be in, I guess. I don't know. He should be in.
Lenny Kravitz, also an actor. He does some films
really
once in a while. Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
He was in Hunger Games. He was in a couple things.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was.
First album, 1989. Newest record will be out in 2024. He's got a new one coming out in May. That'll be 12 total records. So he's got a body of work. Big songs, Are You Gonna Go My Way? It Ain't Over Till It's Over. Fly Away Again. So he's got some heavy hitters on there. I like Lenny Kravitz a lot. I think it's too soon. Maybe there's too many people ahead. I think not that I think it matters at this point. I mean, Rage went in last year and they were highly influential, but they went in before Humble Pie. They went in before Iron Maiden, Motorhead. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Are we going by influence? Or are we going by,
You can't fight it, Bert. Ain't
yeah,
worth
I mean, listen, I understand why they're in, and I'm cool with it.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Moving on to number 11, Oasis, first album, 1994, last album, 2008. 7 total records, big songs, Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, Champagne Supernova. What you got, Damo?
Honestly, I don't really know too much about them. I heard a few songs. I'm not really into them, but I'm definitely aware of their presence and their influence and everything. And with that being said, they probably should go in at some point. I don't know if this is the year, but
Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, they got a couple songs I like Wonderwall's a really good song. As a whole, the band was just never my thing. They're not bad. I always kind of pinned them, probably unfairly, as just a Beatles ripoff.
I think a lot of people did.
To be fair, I mean, they were big. They sold a lot of albums. They have a huge fan base. And I mean, I guess they should be in.
They're funny as shit, too, when they fight.
Oh, that's
right?
what I was going to say. Now, listen.
They got personality.
If I was producing that show and I had any call of who gets in, I would put them in just to see what would happen. Or who shows up and don't show up. So they might get thrown in. They might just get thrown in for the fun of it.
For the ratings.
Yeah, for the ratings. I would throw them in for the ratings. That would be the one that I'd be like, you have to put them in because they're a band that you don't know what's going to happen. You really don't know. The brothers are they're nuts with each other.
Show up. They might not even show up.
Yeah.
Probably not. I would bet not.
I think they both would. I think they would go at it. Yeah, I really do.
I don't think they would.
I think they would, but I don't know. I don't know. Do they deserve to be in yet? I don't know. I mean, they were big, but there's just so many other big ones, right? So, I don't know. I just see a lot more bands that did more that aren't in yet, or they have a bigger body of work. They got 7 records, and maybe the first 2 or 3 were really big. The second, the morning one, Good Morning, whatever, that album was great. That was a really good record. But I think that had the Wonderwall on it. Don't Look Back in Anger. I think that had all them hits on it. But I don't know. I could see them eventually. I just don't think yet. Okay, coming to number 12, another female artist, Sinead O'Connor. First album, 87. Last album, 2014. She's got 10 records out. And I'm really only aware of one song, but
that's
big song. Nothing Compares to You. All Apologies. Drink Before the War. What you got, Damo?
To me, she's always been a one-hit wonder, and she didn't even write that song. I don't know. I mean, she was controversial. I got no problem with that. Probably why she's on the ballot, and because she
just passed away with
also. Us. Yeah. So that always gets a sympathy.
I mean, I think Fiona Apple. I think Fiona Apple is more worthy.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that she's on this. To be perfectly honest, and yeah,
I don't think Fiona Apple ever will, Bert. She'll never be on this list.
No. But now I'm not seeing this ever happening.
No, Mike D.
Nope, no way. Sinead O'Connor. I don't want to say who cares. That was a big song she had out. Prince wrote it. I don't know anything else. The only thing, she's just a controversial figure after that with the one hit that she didn't write.
Right.
No, she doesn't belong. Yeah, don't belong there.
I agree with you. I'm a good singer, good artist for what she did. Her biggest song was a Prince song, and I don't think she ever came close after that. Matter of fact, unless it was something controversial or until the last year or so, you didn't really hear much of her, at least in the pop world. in the popular music stuff. So yeah, good artist for what she is. I just don't think she's I don't think the body of work was that big or that lasting, you know. All right. Number 13, Sade. What you got, Damo?
I always thought she was kind of cool, man.
She was different.
Yeah, she had a vibe. And
She's got that raspy voice.
yeah, it always had like, and kind of like mysterious too, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which is always cool, like in music, having that little mystery or a certain kind of like mysterious vibe. And her, you know, she had a lot of hits, a lot of hit songs, and you know, I could definitely see her going in.
Yep. Mike D.
I could see her going in. I mean, her body of work just isn't that big though, which she had like 6 albums in like almost like 4 or 5 decades.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think she had a lot of hits though,
She
than
did
we
have a lot of
probably
hits. She did. And I think
realize.
she's
You know?
great, but maybe a little too soon.
Yeah.
But out of all the R&B stuff on there, like besides like Cool in the Gang, she's in my book. I listen to her before any of them.
Mm-hmm.
First album, 1984. Last album, 2010. Only 6 records in that time. Big songs. Smooth Operator. Huge song.
Mm-hmm.
Still hear it today. Like a Tattoo. Kiss of Life. She's got a couple real good ones. I always thought she was
Operator.
Cool. Smooth Operator.
Sweetest Taboo.
For the longest time, I always thought it was Soothe of the Red Eye.
Soothe of the Red Eye. No, you didn't, did you?
Yeah.
Soothe of the Red Eye.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's great.
No.
That's the stuff we need. Wow.
Soothe of the Red Eye.
That's wild, Dane. That was a good one. But she always did have that mysterious thing about her. She wasn't overly pushed on everything. She was just kind of smooth, right? Yeah, really good art. Do I think she should be in? Nah, not right now, but respect her. And she's definitely great at what she does. And that song is still great till today. And even back then, that wasn't my thing, but a great song. You know, you still hear it all the time. Okay, this next band, highly influential. Tribe Called Quest, first album 1990, last album 2016. They got 6 records, big songs. Can I Kick It? Electric Relaxation and Check the Rhyme. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, they'll be filed underneath the Eric B and Rakim file. Like, I don't really know too much about them, but I do know of their influence, and they're always mentioned and everything. And they probably should and probably will go in at some point, if not now. So,
Yep. Mike D.
Yeah, like Dame, I couldn't tell you one track they did. I know they have like one album out that's like really huge too. Like, was it the girl with all the colors around her?
Yeah, I think it might be their first record.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you. I kind of missed the boat on them too, just like Eric B and Rakim. But yeah, I mean, I just know they're big. I know it. Yeah. I couldn't tell you one thing they did though.
Yeah, same thing here. I know they're highly influential. I know they're a big name. I never really listened to the stuff, so I'm not familiar with it, but I know that they're big enough to get in, and they had a lot of influence on a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think they got a great shot this year.
What about the Fat Boys, man? How come nobody's trying to push the Fat Boys in?
I would vote for the Fat Boys.
Yeah,
if we're doing some rapping there.
Come on, they were kind of like a pioneer type of band.
But same thing. It was like the longevity wasn't that much, right? But then there's other bands.
Well, they were huge for a small moment, man. They were huge.
Sure.
No pun intended, but they were big. I like the
Disorderlies.
Yeah. They did do some movies too, didn't they? Yeah.
Crush Groove was big, I think.
Crush Groove was huge.
Crush Groove. I gotta rewatch that. I remember seeing that one.
That was good. Yeah, that was real good, man. Coming in at 15, Ozzy Osbourne as a solo artist. First album as a solo artist, 1980. Last album, 2022, and he'll probably put another one out. He's got 13 total. Big songs. Crazy Train, which you hear everywhere. Mama, I'm Coming Home. Shot in the Dark. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, I mean, he deserves to be in there. Probably the first and most successful metal solo artist, right?
Yeah.
I mean, There's others, but I mean, nobody as big as Ozzy. Everybody knows Ozzy. I think people know Ozzy more than they know Sabbath. I would argue with
At
that.
this point.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I think he should go in for his music too. I mean, he always had a phenomenal, like, hugely influential guitar players. But my only thing with him is that I think the guys who wrote the songs for him and his guitar players should go with him. And you know that's not going to happen.
Nah.
And you know it if he does go in, like, fucking how about Jake? You know, he wrote
How
the
about
fucking
Zach
songs.
too?
Zach,
Zach's been
but
there since
more importantly,
forever.
over those two guys, Bob Daisley wrote all of his fucking hit songs.
Yeah.
So without Bob Daisley, you wouldn't have those songs. It would be like how we talked about Sinead O'Connor. People just know her for her controversy. So Ozzy always surrounded himself with writers. You know, it's like they should get a nod as well.
Sure.
You know, but
Sure. But you
that
know they
won't
won't.
happen.
Yeah,
It won't happen because Sharon Osbourne has she's got a big mouth and she's a very powerful person, and she'll make sure that Ozzy gets 99% of the spotlight.
Yep.
And will not share it with anyone. So
Mike D.
Yeah, man. I'm actually surprised he's not even in there already. I mean, come on.
I mean,
This should be a shoe-in.
he's in under Sabbath.
Well, but I'm saying, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's surpassed. Maybe not music-wise for me. My taste, I'd probably rather listen to Sabbath at this point. But come
Popularity,
on,
he surpassed him.
He surpassed him. He did.
Yeah. Even though I'm not big on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing going, I think once you're in, you're in. I think it eats up a spot for somebody else. I really do.
It does. Yeah.
So I'm always against that. You know, once you're already in, you're already in. Why? I mean, you're in as a person already, right? So you don't really have to go in as a solo artist. But since they do put solo artists in, absolutely Ozzy deserves to be in. I mean, highly influential. He's got the headlines on top of it. You know, he's been around for a long time. You know, he's coming, at the end of his career right now. It's the perfect time to put him in, probably. He's definitely going in. I don't think if he don't go in, something's wrong. I think he's going to be the main guy. I think he's going to be the headliner. You know?
I think you think too much.
If he could do it, he's in pretty bad shape.
He's going to be the headliner.
He's in pretty bad shape. I don't think he's capable of performing, but
nah.
Well, that leads us to the next part. Who do we if we had a vote, who would we vote for, and who do we think is going to get in?
Okay, let's start off with Damien. Who do you think out of this list should go in? You got to pick 7 of them, right?
Okay. Yeah, I have them. I have my list.
Okay.
If I had a vote, who I would vote for Ozzy. I would vote for Peter Frampton. I would vote for Foreigner, Kool and the Gang, Cher, Jane's Addiction. And even though I said he's indifferent, but I would vote for Lenny Kravitz.
Okay.
That's who I would vote for.
Now, who do you think's going to get in?
Now, who do I think is going to get in?
Mm-hmm.
I actually think Foreigner is going to get in. I think Oasis is going to get in. I think Ozzy will get in. Sade will get in. Eric B. and Rakim will get in. A Tribe Called Quest will get in. And Mary J. Blige will get in.
Wow. Mike D., who do you think should go in?
So it's at 7 and 7, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who do I think will get in? Okay. Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey, Cher, Dave Matthews, Ozzy Osbourne, and A Tribe Called Quest. Okay, I got one more, which I originally had 6. Let's see.
This is who you think will get in?
This is who I think will get in. I'm going to say Kool and the Gang.
Who do you think they're going to put in?
No, that's who I think.
That's who you think's going to. Now, who would you put in?
Now, who should I? I want to say Foreigner, Jane's Addiction, Kool and the Gang, Lenny Kravitz, Oasis, Ozzy Osbourne, and the one more, Cher.
So almost the same as me, except you got Oasis in.
Okay, so who do I think should go in? Ozzy, Cool in the Gang, Foreigner, Cher, A Tribe Called Quest, Eric B. and Rakim, and Peter Frampton. They're the ones that I think should go in.
That would be your vote if you had a vote.
That would be my vote out of this list, yeah. Who do I think will get in? Ozzy, Cool in the Gang, Eric B. and Rakim, Mariah Carey, A Tribe Called Quest, Foreigner, and Dave Matthews.
This is it's funny. So when it comes down to who do we think is going to get in, it's almost like he just picked the most fucked up things. Like,
right, right. So, Mike, you think Mary J. Blige is getting in?
So I think she's getting it.
Dame, you didn't know, right?
in my, do I think she's getting in? Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, you did pick
getting
her. Okay, I didn't pick her this time.
I didn't pick her if I had a vote. No, I didn't pick her.
But you think they're going to put her in?
I think they're going to put her in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to put her in. Absolutely.
Am I the only one who thought Mike thought Mariah Carey was going to get in too, right? Or no? Am I? Yeah.
I didn't have her.
No. So you think out of all the females that are on here, I definitely think Cher. I think Cher should get in. I think they're going to put Mariah Carey, and I think they're going to pick one. I don't think they're going to pick two. Yeah.
I think Sade is getting in, absolutely, because she's kind of like mysterious, an enigma. A lot of her name is always passed around in like great praise and everything.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to get in there. I think Eric.
I wouldn't have a problem with that, but
yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the ones who I thought they're going to pick, I wouldn't really have a problem with. And again, it was Foreigner, Oasis, Ozzy, Sade, Eric B, and Rakim.
Yep.
Tribe Called Quest, and Mary J. Blige. It is what it is. I mean,
now let's go through some names I got here. That, what do you think? Let's talk on this topic here of some big names that still aren't in. I might have missed a few. If I missed any, just throw them out there. I'm going to say Diana Ross. How's Diana Ross? Like I said in the beginning of this, how's she not in? If you're allowing solo artists, Diana Ross was huge on her own, man. Like,
yeah,
huge.
I don't know if she's ever been on the ballot before.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy to me. Iron Maiden.
Come on.
Well, you know, the past couple of years they've had that backdoor thing.
Yeah.
You know, where that's how Priest got in and how Randy Rhoads got in. They'll probably throw Iron Maiden in there, but I think that's fucking stupid. It doesn't count to me.
No,
to me,
it doesn't.
Count. It's a participation trophy to me. It does.
I mean, they still show up and do a speech, don't they? I mean,
I don't know if they do.
I think Rob Halford did one. Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Did he?
I think so.
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit though. It's not the same.
Yeah, you
want to be voted in,
right?
You don't want to be like, okay, these guys they didn't get voted in, but we think they should be in, so we're putting them in. I don't like those rules. They should be voted in, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know, unless you're like a producer or like a famous promoter, those guys should be discussed. And okay, we're gonna put Eddie Kramer in, because he's not going to be voted in as an artist. He's not. He's a producer. So those people you put in, and you should do like one of those a year,
or management, or whoever was
or like a famous
behind
manager.
the scenes.
Yeah, like a behind the scenes person you put in.
Yeah,
you don't put bands.
But
in there
I mean,
like
Maiden's they sell out everywhere. They have a huge body of work. They have a huge fan base.
I mean, you think heavy metal, they're the top 5 you think of.
I mean, listen, besides Metallica, who has the biggest world? Even if they do. They do it. Maidens do.
It's a fact.
Another one that's on my list every year, and I'm going to go by the influence of the punk rock kind of change stuff here. And their T-shirt, if you want to go pop icon kind of thing, that T-shirt's been being sold since the 80s, and it's still a huge T-shirt.
Let me guess. Misfits?
Oh, yeah.
Got to be highly influential. Everybody and their mother has that T-shirt.
Yep.
Everybody goes through a Misfits phase.
What are they going to? They're going
Was
to come
there
out on
another?
stage. I got something to say. I raped your mother today.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Ramones,
I
KKK
think
took my
some of
baby
that stuff
away. I
is
mean, what's the difference?
well, it's not a pro KKK song, really. I
Yeah, but
mean, but
still,
it's kind of like
Metallica
well,
covered that song. Metallica's got some wacky shit too. You know what I mean?
true.
So I wouldn't go by lyrics, but they were highly influential. I mean, what do you
Yeah.
think? They Misfits, should they be in?
Yeah, I think at some point they'll get in.
I mean, if you could put the Sex Pistols in, and they have one record really, and you could put in the Ramones, why can't you put in the Misfits? They're the three that should go in.
Yeah, they're probably the three most well known, I think, of their
Yeah, where
genre,
they're still relevant, where people at a young age still listen to them or find their way to them, right? All three.
Yeah, but and it's almost like the hair bands. We all love that stuff, but let's be real. You got Bon Jovi and Def Leppard in there. Do you really think? I mean, Motley Crue will probably get in, but
They're
probably
not
no
in?
one else.
No, they're on my list. That was the next thing I was going to
No,
mention.
but
Motley Crue.
but to be truthful, those three. Am I missing anyone else? No, as far as the LA band, John. There's probably no one else that will ever even have a chance. I mean, who else would get in
I mean,
besides those
it would have to be really out of that kind of scene, the biggest bands, and Guns N' Roses is already in, but you would say Guns N'
Yeah, Guns N'
Roses.
Roses. I forgot about them. Okay.
You would say Guns N' Roses. You would say
Bon Jovi,
Motley, Bon
Def Leppard.
Jovi, and out of the
That's
hair
the
stuff,
four.
and
That's the big
Def
four.
Leppard. That's the big four.
That's
Even
the
though
big
Def
four.
Leppard's not part of the hair stuff. Come on.
Right.
Well,
yeah,
they're lumped into that.
They're
They're
lumped
lumped
in.
into
Yeah,
that.
but besides those four, then it drops off considerably. You can't even.
Yeah.
I mean, Poison.
I mean, Cinderella. I mean, I don't know
no
if
fucking
maybe if they
way.
did more records.
Nah, I mean, they were a great band, but
No, not 99.9% chance they're not. They're.
I mean, look how much those. I mean, in defense of that, look how those first two albums they sold a lot of records. Cinderella,
Yeah,
a lot of records.
Yeah,
They weren't one-hit wonders.
but people don't know them. People don't know them.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like I mentioned them at work the other day. Like that was my first concert I went to. You mean someone said Cinderella, like the Disney the musical? I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
But how's Motley not even on a ballot? I don't even think they were on a ballot yet. I don't remember them on a
No,
ballot.
they weren't. No.
I mean
They'll
they
get in
sold
at
a
some
lot of
point.
records.
They will.
You know what I mean? And they were.
I'm surprised they're not in, but they're. I don't know. They're not my thing.
But they stayed
Yeah.
relevant through even the tough times. They stayed relevant.
Yeah.
Okay, Motorhead, another huge, major, influential band. Lemmy, everybody knew Lemmy or knows Lemmy, and how are they not in?
Yeah, I mean they'll probably get in at some point too. I don't think there's a big rush for Lemmy's dead now, and I don't think there's a huge rush to get him in. They'll probably try to get. I think Motley Crue will go in before Motorhead.
Wow. And I got two, I wouldn't say newer bands, or maybe three. We'll go with the 90s stuff. We'll go with Soundgarden. I can't believe they're not in. I thought they were a shoe-in. When they were on, I was like, there's no way they're not getting in.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised Soundgarden didn't go in. Smashing Pumpkins, long body of work. I think that guy's going in. Billy's going in. I just don't know.
Has to go in, right?
Yeah.
I would think. I mean,
still relevant.
Still irrelevant. Still irrelevant. And the last one on my list, for my own selfish reasons, but I really think they were hugely influential, Alice in Chains.
I think they got the least chance of those bands.
Yeah, but
for some reason, I don't know. Well, there's only like 3 albums, right? Pretty much 3.
Well, with Lane.
With Lane, yeah.
They got the 2 EPs.
Yeah. And then you have, like 3 after that.
But that doesn't really mean anything. I mean, look, Sex Pistols got in with 1, Guns N' Roses.
Rage with 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can do so much.
I mean, for me, I think to be in the Hall of Fame, you got to either have
it's quality over quantity.
Right, you either got to have a body of work and still be somewhat relevant, right? Or you have to have an impact on how it changed music or how the genre kind of changed. They're the two things that I would go by. Sex Pistols, I understand why they're in. They were in that movement. They changed that movement. They created a scene. You know what I mean? Another band, far from one of my favorite bands, but highly influential on that early 70s stuff that, people were going crazy in New York for them. And you don't hear nothing about them. New York Dolls.
So one guy left. I think they should be in, but probably won't happen.
I mean, and that's not, I'm not the biggest New York Dolls fan, but they influence so many bands.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. How about you, Dame? Is there one person at the top of your head that you think, I can't believe they're not in?
I don't know. I think we pretty much mentioned them. I can't really think of anyone else. I don't know.
I mean, I can't see like the Panteras or anything like that making it.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
here's one. You got all the Beatles individually, but you don't have Ringo in. He's not in.
Yeah, that's odd, right? You figure they would at least put him
in.
George Harrison's in. But
name a Ringo solo song.
Oh, I know a few of them. Kind of escapes me at the moment, but
it's the all-star band.
but right, I mean, nothing against him. I mean, I think Ringo's a great drummer, but I mean, easy. As far as I don't know, I couldn't put him in as a solo. I don't know.
Well, you know what? He would go in one of those backdoor deals.
That's fine.
Is all the Traveling Wilbury guys in? I think they are.
Tom Petty's
I don't know.
In there. Electric Light Orchestra. I don't know if they're in.
Jeff Lynne?
Not.
I
don't know if they're in. Yeah, I don't know.
But
I mean, Roy Orbison's got to be in.
Oh yeah.
Tom Petty's in.
Yeah.
George Harrison's in. That's 3. Bob Dylan's in. That's 4. Yeah, Dylan was probably in since they opened the thing.
Yeah.
And Jeff Lynne's the only one I'm not sure about. I think that's the last guy. But
that's actually a good one too. I mean, I gotta look that up if they're in there. I don't think they are.
I mean, not as that band, but they're probably in it individually. Jeff Lynne's the only one.
He wouldn't. He would be in there with his band. I mean,
he would be in there with ELO, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if are they in there.
Dame's checking.
I doubt it.
I don't think they are for some reason.
I don't think so either.
How about this one? Jethro Tull's not in.
They should be in. Come on.
How are they not in?
Yeah, they should be in.
I mean, like Dame said, from the 80s stuff, as far as the hard rock stuff go, it's them 4. It's Bon Jovi, Def Leppard.
I think they are in 2017.
Motley and Bon Jovi.
Is that right?
ELO's in?
Yeah, 2017.
Okay, so all of them guys.
I had no idea.
All of them guys were Hall of Fame guys. Yeah. And there was a lot of repeats this year. A lot of people on the ballots were people that were already on the ballots before.
Yeah.
I thought they said there was 10 new ones.
There might have been. I know Mary J. Blige was on it before. Mariah Carey might be new.
Eric B. and Rakim's been up there. I think A Tribe Called Quest has been in there.
Yeah.
Jane's Addiction's new.
Yeah, I think Jane's
Lenny's
Addiction
new.
was
I
up
think.
there before.
Were they?
Yeah. Well, Ozzy never has.
No, Lenny Kravitz never has.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor. It's the first time.
I mean, it's weird how the list changes from year to year. Like I thought Cyndi Lauper had a shot last year.
Yeah,
that didn't happen.
I'm surprised that she's not in there.
I don't know if you don't get so many votes, you don't get put back on it, or
nah, that's a baseball Hall of Fame.
Is that what I'm thinking of? Okay.
You know what though? It probably should be that way.
Yeah.
I mean, they should tally up the votes. If they don't get like 3% or 5, whatever the hell it is, 5% of the votes, then they don't go on the ballot again.
Yeah.
Because they're eating up the place.
But see, I just look at this. I think they're going to put the most relevant bands in too. So it's like, who's the most relevant on the list that they can,
and also
suck ratings off of or whatever.
It's a ratings and it's also a live event. So they got to sell tickets and they got to get ratings. So you need like a big name in there. Also,
all right. So I'm calling it now. If Ozzy gets in, and he might not sing, but if he gets in and they do an Ozzy song, it's going to be Mary J. Blige doing Mom, I'm Coming Home. That's my prediction.
Okay.
That's my prediction. Yeah, even though I would love to see Ozzy do a Kool and the Gang song with Kool and the Gang. That would be cool.
I think this is my prediction. I think Mariah Carey's getting in, and the song she's going to do is Bringing on the Heartbreak.
Perfect thing.
Didn't she do that? She did that.
Yeah, she wore the
Yes, she
Gypsy
did.
outfit. Remember? Yeah,
It was such a
being
horrible
said.
cover. So horrible.
So
it was
So we're going to come back on and record another one for probably Sunday. I don't know if it's going to be live or not. We'll see. If not, it'll be out early next week. We're going to do the Ace Frehley record. Ace Frehley comes out the 23rd, which is probably the same day I'm putting this out. Amigo the Devil's coming out. Mick Mars' solo record coming out. So a couple
You got a big day, Bert.
Big day tomorrow. Big day. So or today will be after I release this. So yeah, we're gonna review the Ace Frehley this week. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. See you soon.